Parler. What's on there? What's everybody talking about? Because every social media kind of has their own vibe going on. Yeah, let's check it out. The first thing we see is the personalize your Parler experience. And it has a bunch of recommended people that you should follow. Some of them that really stick out to me are, there's Sean Hannity right at the top.
Sean Hannity, come on up, Sean Hannity. By the way, all those people in the back are fake news.
Tucker Carlson.
None of what you are watching is about civil rights. Violence and race baiting are the enemies of civil rights.
Phil Robertson, the guy from Duck Dynasty, I believe.
And being a Bible man myself, and I'm probably, I would be labeled as way out there on the right.
I don't think I'm going to find Bill Maher on here.
I mean, you're a senator. You are one of the very few people who are really running this country. It worries me that people are running my country who believe in a talking snake.
You don't have to pass an IQ test to be in the Senate, though.
I would look at J.P. Sears.
The experts who you give your power away to estimate that it'll be safe to gather with people again in about 7 generations from now.
You know, Sean Hannity, Tucker Carlson, why not Phil Robertson? And let's do J.P. Sears too. Done. So what is this? This is my feed. Echoed by. So I think echoed means like almost like retweeted, I guess. Here is trending. Big tech tyrants hold digital book burning while leftists cheer.
I think what we've seen today is just horrific, and it, in a sense, almost puts the country into a kind of free fall. To say that all these new technologies that people have now integrated into their normal lives, ways in which they get information, ways in which they communicate with their friends, that these are going to be somehow snuffed out and closed to them.
In the past 24 hours, Twitter permanently suspends President Trump. Twitter suspends POTUS government Twitter account. Amazon employees call for company to stop hosting Parler through AWS. Google removes Parler from Google Play. Apple considers following suit. YouTube bans Steve Bannon. CEO of Mozilla says we need more than deflatforming. What does that mean? Definition. Not deplatforming. Or is it deplatforming? Just spelled wrong. I think it's just deplatforming. They just spelled it wrong. CEO of Mozilla says we need more than just deplatforming. And the left is just getting started. We're tracking big tech tyranny all day. Don't miss an update. When you tear out a man's tongue, you are not proving him a liar. You're only telling the world that you fear what he has to say.
Gib du jetzt deine Stimme ab, wenn ja!
Twitter shares down nearly 4% after hours trading following Trump ban. Countdown to socialism, big tech tyranny. A lot of people where I grew up are extremely conservative. So I see a lot of conservative posts already. Do I have something like right here? Sorry, I was working on my car today. But yeah, where I grew up, a lot of people have conservative points of view. And so I'm friends with a lot of conservatives on Facebook. So I see this stuff already. So I don't think Parler is really unique to this conservative point of view. I guess this is just a place where they won't put fact-checking on your posts. It doesn't look like you get any news from the other side. Biden promises money for black, brown businesses. Let's see the comments on this one. Show conversation. There we go. If you voted for Trump, you ain't black. What about white businesses? No money for them. I will be the president for all Americans, whether you voted for me or not. Another lie. More handouts for the marginalized, in quotes.
Well, I think their aim is mixed marriages and becoming equal with the whites.
Pedo can kiss my ass. Joe the Clown. Something that I heard growing up that I didn't realize was racist until recently, and because I didn't know what the terminology meant and what the history of that terminology meant. These people that I know, that I grew up around, and even their friends and their friends of friends, they all talk this way. And what I'm trying to say is that these people hold positions in all different aspects of society. You know, they have jobs in, you know, real estate, and they have jobs in the government, and they have jobs in just all over. They're just so involved with the system, and they all hold these deeply rooted racist views. And to say something like systemic racism doesn't exist, or it took me having to move out of the state and learning more about other people and spending time around other people, going to a bigger city. It seems like where I grew up was really rural, so going to a bigger city where there's different types of people with different backgrounds, watching documentaries and learning more about history and educating myself, where I became more aware of this. And then you have places like this, where it just reminds me of this. It's like an echo chamber of people with these types of views, for, you know, specifically with this post and race. And then you have this other kind of content. Let's see. Australia locks down entire city of 2 million people over single, in all caps, case of new COVID variant. It is about time we as a people stand up and demand term limits and salary ceilings on all elected officials, cancel career politicians. Can't disagree with that one. Here's a good one. COVID-19 isn't real, so there is no variant. This has all been a hoax. Trump, I will not be going to the inauguration. People love Donald Trump. I've never loved a politician as much as conservatives love Donald Trump. That's crazy. They treat him like he's like some kind of god or something. God bless Donald Trump, and God bless our military, and God bless America. Dems will make sure they collapse the economy nationwide. Police embarrassed over tweet complaining of 2 reports of snowballs being thrown in violation of lockdown. You get the idea. I think I get the idea. I just wanted to see what was on this app, open it up, check it out, scroll through a few things, read it off, so you can get an idea of what this platform's vibe is. A 7-foot fence is going to be up around the Capitol's grounds, Army Secretary says. I mean, you look on here, and it's all conservative news. But like, say I open up Facebook. Candace Owens has, you know, her own the Facebook page. I know that she recently has been censored for a few things that she said. Maybe, you know, Parler's a better platform for her. You see, you can see the same stuff. It's like...
So you lived your life as a trans woman. Mm-hmm. How many years?
For 8 years.
8 years. That's a very long time. Mm-hmm. And how old were you when you began to transition?
I was in my early 40s.
Oh, okay.
Around 42, and then I began to detransition at 50.
Okay.
My mom and dad encouraged, you know, our natural genders, but it was my grandma, when she was babysitting me, that somehow we got involved in this whole thing because she made dresses, and I became curious about this idea of her making dresses. So she made me a purple chiffon dress, and then she began to affirm how cute I looked.
How old were you?
I was 4.
4 years old.
And so this affirmation process, which, as a 4-year-old, you don't know. I mean, it's grandma, so it's got to be okay. And so when you have an adult encouraging you and nurturing you along in this way, you don't realize that this curiosity that you have as a child is also a quiet curiosity, because you're really trusting the adult to guide you, to nurture you, and give you good information. I didn't realize what grandma was doing was going to be very destructive later on. So the consequences of her affirming me became very destructive. I think it's actually evil, and it's child abuse to indicate that you can change genders at such a young age. And I'm speaking from 74 years of experience, so it's not like I came to this and just came to this conclusion. I've got 74 years to develop this idea that we're talking about.
Wow.
I don't know. I personally like to wear dresses, and I wear them around the house sometimes, so whatever.
Okay. Should probably take note on that one. I don't think there's any problem with that. Let's see. Let's check out Fox News. Imam whose son was hospitalized after developing the coronavirus-related multi-system inflammatory syndrome in children is warning others to be wary of the condition should their child battle COVID-19 or be exposed to the virus. Propaganda, fake news.
By the way, all those people in the back are fake news.
Anyway, now we're on Fox News. This is all about Parler. John Matzi. Who is this? Founder and CEO of Parler. Okay. We are the closest thing to competition Facebook or Twitter has seen in many years. I believe Amazon, Google, Apple worked together to try to ensure they don't have competition. They will not win. We are the world's last hope for free speech and free information. What they are doing is unprecedented, unfounded, and absolutely disgusting, shameful. Let's see. I just want to see what J.P. Sears said back to this. See you back here on Parler on Tuesday. If we stand together, freedom will win. Promise. I think I've seen enough here. When you're younger and you're on these platforms like YouTube or something, and they know how to like find you, like you're looking at like video games or something, and then something about feminist gets wrecked or something pops up, and then you go down that road, and then that leads you to Ben Shapiro, which leads you to Alex Jones, which leads you down all of these like conspiracy theory. And when you're young and you're impressionable, you don't really know. It's just like you feel like this calling, and you feel like people are talking to you, and you're part of this movement, and then you're able to be beguiled and influenced to do things for these powers that be. Anyway, that's Parler. Hope you enjoyed my review. Until next time.